Someone was inside my home. I heard about this place from a friend. He said that it might help me get things off my chest, so here goes. It all started around 3 months ago. It was a cold night, and I had just gotten off work. I live in a small one-story flat on the outskirts of DC. It's a fine place, but not the most secure. I had just gotten off the phone with my girlfriend, Aaliyah. I was beat, you know? I was about ready to pass out on my flimsy bed. Of course, my dumbass friend Caro knocked on the door at, 11 p.m. He's done it before, and I reckon he'll do it again. Anyways, he comes in carrying a massive bottle of whiskey, lightly shoving the door behind him. Yo, man, I just bought this massive whiskey bottle for, $2. I, of course, wouldn't trust any alcohol that didn't cost more than $10, so I was a bit skeptical. Where did you get it for so cheap? A friend of a friend of a friend got it from some guy. Want a sip? In hindsight, drinking an entire bottle of whiskey at 11:30 at night was a bad idea, but I had just gotten finished getting yelled at by my manager, so I wasn't in a great headspace. We watched reruns of old 90s sitcoms and drank until around 1:30. Then, Caro just packed up and left, nearly falling several times, he was so drunk. I was pretty tipsy myself. Not as much as Caro, but still enough to make me all tired and stuff. So, I walked to my bed and collapsed unconscious. I woke up probably just a few hours later. I heard this banging sound coming from the living room. Sounded like someone fell and hit their head on a countertop. I got up, a massive headache making me want to vomit. After struggling to stand, I walked into my small living room and didn't see anything. Except for one small thing. The front door was open. I, stupidly, shrugged it off and closed it, assuming Caro didn't close it all the way. I was about to walk back to my bedroom to get some shut-eye when I saw that my refrigerator was open, too. Now, that freaked me out a little bit. Made me nervous. I was still hungover as hell, though, so I once again shrugged it off. I still grumbled to myself knowing that I ignored all these major red flags. I closed it and just walked back into my room and laid down in bed. I couldn't get a single wink of sleep, though. My headache was awful. I was thinking Caro might have bought bad whiskey, when out of the corner of my eye, I saw my closet's shutter door open just a little, making a grating creaking noise. I shot up immediately, and stared at that damn closet like the world would end if I had blinked. The closet didn't move an inch further. Was it just the wind? I looked at my window, it was closed. So here I was, wondering what the hell made it move. I was thinking of investigating, but something felt wrong. Like, I was in danger. Staring daggers at the closet, I slowly stood up, and backed away slowly towards my bedroom door. Just as I was about to exit the room, I saw the closet doors swing open, and a long, dark leg with a boot step through. I didn't think twice, and slammed my door shut. I locked it from the outside and fell straight on my ass. I stared at the door, seated on the carpeted floor for what felt like hours. As I listened, I heard this awful scratching on the door. Like a cat going at a scratching post. I got up and ran to the landlines, and immediately dialed 911. My flat was old, so it still had one of those old house phones with a wire. I never broke sight of my bedroom door as I asked for the cops. It was around 10 or so minutes later when the officers came. I was pointing a kitchen knife at my bedroom door when 2 cops walked in. It was a tall, blonde-haired guy with sunglasses and an average-height balding man and an unkempt goatee. I started shouting about what had happened, but the 2 cops just stared at me like I was crazy. All right, relax, we'll see what it is. The tall cop said. The balding cop was munching on a cherry donut, but I could make out, you sure it isn't just a cat? I was at the end of my rope, and had to resist exploding on him. Yes, I'm sure it wasn't a cat. Please check. The 2 cops walked into my bedroom, their service pistols drawn low. I stood in the living room patiently, hoping that they exit carting out a dead home invader. Instead, they exit empty-handed. Now, are you sure you didn't see a stray kitty? The balding cop chuckled. I pushed past them, into my bedroom. Nothing. My closet was closed, everything was in order, even my window was still closed. The cops said they'd do an investigation, but that's just short talk for, we're never looking into this. This whole incident kept me up for weeks, even. I started to wonder, was I mistaken? Did any of it actually happen? Or was it some drunken hallucination I made up? I started to think so, until 1 month ago. I was leaving my bedroom, ready to go to work, when I noticed something, on my bedroom door. Several long scratch marks on the lower half of the door. They were apparent, clear as day scratch marks from a knife. I know now that whatever happened that night, it wasn't made up. It wasn't a dream. And that terrifies me. I posted my story here to hopefully get some peace of mind. I doubt I'll ever forget this whole debacle, and I sure as hell hope that whoever that intruder was, he'll never come back for me.